Yeah. I think we've hit it.
I think that's enough?
I think that's enough.
Right, well,
That's
let's
enough.
plot this down here. All right.
There we go.
All right. Welcome to Boys episode 46, a very special episode.
It is. It's a very, very special episode.
We were invited by District Bicycles owner Bobby Wintle to come up and do a podcast.
You heard him a couple episodes ago. Our first road, well, not our first road trip. What was that, our third trip?
I like to say back again for the first time.
Back again for the first time, back in Stillwater. It was a lot of fun. Had a good time. Rocky start.
Yeah.
But solid finish.
Very solid finish. Good time. And thanks, Bobby, and all the boys up there at District Bicycles. We do have a very special episode today, but first we got to take care of a little business.
A lot of business.
First things first. I think that Weird Al is very underappreciated.
That's on the you put that on the business docket?
Look right here on
Hold
the
on.
official boys list of fun. It's at the very top. We're listening to some Weird Al. Actually, we were listening to Presidents of the United States of America while we were setting up. We're recording this intro from my house today, and put on the President's album, the self-titled album from 1995.
Great record.
It's actually a really good record.
It's probably his best.
I would say it's fun to listen to.
It is fun to listen to.
It's really fun. So Lump comes on, and then I'm like, man, you remember Gump?
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you know me, you know I'm a big Forrest Gump fan.
And a Weird Al fan. So put the two together.
And you got yourself a hit, baby.
That's a hit.
So we're listening to it, and we're watching the video on YouTube in this low, like 244p quality. And we just realize how good and spot on the Weird Al version is.
Sure.
Auto plays, and then we find ourselves here at the Bedrock Anthem, where we started our show. So a little peek behind the curtain for you guys. So
where we are,
down to business. There's a big event coming up here.
We do. We have a live event, a live show on April 6th at the 51st Street Speakeasy. Our first actual live show. So it's going to be. It's not going to be like your standard boys show. We're going to do it. Carson style.
We're going to try to do kind of a Tonight Show vibe theme to it. We've got some wonderful guests, which include Randy Heyer, local heartthrob, Lucas Dunn, writer, friend, decent human, and also Spencer Hicks.
Local funny man Spencer Hicks.
Local funny man makes good. Spencer Hicks comes and hangs out with the boys.
It's going to be a really fun one. We're going to have a bitchin' prize bag, if I do say so myself.
Yes, there's going to be a chance. If you come to this Thursday, April 6th, at the Speakeasy, 9 p.m. on the dot.
On the dizzle.
Show starts promptly at 9 p.m. If you come, you'll have a chance to win a prize pack. We got all kinds of good stuff in there. We will reveal more details about that as we get closer, but it's worth it. It's worth it to come just for the prize pack alone.
Well, yeah, and then just a night, and we won't keep you out late. It's going to be on a Thursday. Yeah, we'll be probably done by 10:30, 11. Go home, hit the sack.
Couple hours tops.
Couple hours.
Probably an hour and a half.
And then the night after that, there's the Thunder Up 2. It's a Thunder Up 2 Cruise Control. It's another. What do they call that?
Like a playthrough.
And it's what's the thing called? I can't remember the service that.
Like a Twitch?
Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch.
So a bunch of friends of ours are getting together to help the Hicks family, actually, Spencer and his wife and their child. Thunder Up 2 Cruise Control, April 7th and 8th. It's a 24-hour playthrough.
That's crazy.
Of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
And it's benefiting the Hicks family. If you can't make it to that, you can tune in at twitch.tv/ThunderUp. That's Thunder Up with an F. There's prizes, giveaways, and general irresponsibility.
Sure.
You can donate to the Hicks family and read more about it there. You can also find Thunder Up on Facebook. That's kind of the best way to look into it. Just type that in your little search bar up there, and
Bing it.
Facebook will hook you up.
Hook you right up. You can also find all of our shit, boyspodcast.com. Links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
All things boys.
All things boys. There's also, we have a donate button if you would like to care to donate, if you enjoy what you're listening to and want to throw a couple bucks our way. Click on that gold donate button at the bottom. What else is there to talk about?
We're just burning through these. We're trying to get to this episode.
Trying to get to the app. It's a good app.
So we get there, and we had 2 interviews scheduled. A guy named Owen Pye. I guess he flew in or something. He was very late.
He was pretty late. Yeah,
not his fault.
No.
Won't hold it against Joan.
No.
But
it was a hard man to reach that day.
Yeah, he didn't make it to the show, but we did get a chance to sit down and talk to Carter Hulsey from. Yeah. Well, he's from Nashville now.
Yeah. Originally from Joplin, Missouri.
That's right. Really good dude. It was kind of quick. He was about to take the stage, as they say.
Yeah.
He was about to take the stage.
Good guy. It was a quick conversation, but man, it was good.
We made a friend that day.
We did make a friend.
Now, as far as the next guest, I don't know if he and I are friends.
I feel like he and I made a little bit of a connection.
And I'm jealous because like the whole time we're talking, I'm like, man, I don't know if this guy likes me.
Yeah.
I think he might think I'm full of shit.
Maybe, perhaps.
But you guys,
yeah.
more importantly, you guys hit it off.
Well, again, and we were supposed to do 3 quick interviews, 20 minutes, half hour each. It was going to be short and sweet, give you a little taste. But man, I'll be damned if that second guest just didn't want to hang out for a bit. So it was a little bit longer than we expected. Also, note, it was at a bicycle rally, so there's going to be a lot of background noise. I hope it's not too abrasive. There are moments of clarity where there's nothing in the background. Right. But just the audio quality is not as fucking flawless as it always is.
Right. Like we sound much better right now.
This sounds great.
Yeah,
and actually right now we are not in the Paramount studio. We are in the original locale because we've loaded everything up mobile. Sunday, we're doing it here.
We're in the dungeon.
Dungeon of Doom.
I like that. The DOD.
Dungeon of Doom.
So yeah, that guest being Matt Pryor from the Get Up Kids.
Yeah, that's who that was?
Yeah, some dude I heard about once.
He was in a band, I heard.
Yeah, it was nothing to write home about. But yeah, it was great to sit down and talk to him.
Yeah.
Again, the audio quality is a little funky because we were in this big open space, kind of art gallery space right next to the stage.
Pretty echoey, concrete floors, brick walls, that sort of thing.
If you get bored listening to this episode, which I guarantee you won't, you can play a game of Name That Tune because boy, there was a lot of music playing.
Name that background music. Yep. They were bumping some random ass tunes through that PA.
And the last thing we'll say before we get started here is we do have a new email address. Okay, listen.
Changed it.
We were boys@AOL.com. That was cute. But the boys got to become men. They got to ditch that 90s email address. It was fucking up.
Yeah.
It was fucking up.
It just wasn't working. A lot of spam.
Yeah, a lot of spam and emails not coming through. So interesting. New email, boys@boyspodcast.com. It's official like a referee with the whistle. Email us. Give us a holler. I know you're sitting at work listening to this.
Shout.
Tab over, get off Reddit. Give us an email, boys@boyspodcast.com. Thoughts, comments, concerns, criticism.
All of it.
All welcome.
All welcome. Here. So this is a really good cast. A lot of fun. Again, Carter's was super quick. Great guy. You can find all of his stuff, carterhulsey.com.
That's right.
Yeah. Good tunes. And then Matt Pryor, obviously, you can find his stuff, getupkids.com, New Amsterdam stuff, all that good stuff, all of his solo shit. He has a podcast. We talked about that a little bit on our podcast. He hasn't done it in a very long time, but it's called Nothing to Write Home About. You can check that out, too.
At ntwha.com.
Yes.
And lastly, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the Lost Ogle. Patrick, thank you so much for allowing us to record our other episodes in the Paramount building.
Yes.
Not in the dungeon. Also, Anthem Brewing.
Gotta love Anthem Brewing.
Gotta love those guys. Just taking care of us, so take care of them.
For sure.
And lastly, fatbison.com. Friend Matt makes these high-quality wooden signs that are beautiful.
Very beautiful.
They're beautiful. Check them out at fatbison.com. They make great gifts.
They do.
So yeah, without further ado, episode 46 with Carter Hulsey and Matt Pryor. All right, we're here with Carter Hulsey. We are at the Land Run 100 in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Busy.
Thanks to Bobby Wintle at District Bicycles for inviting us to do this. And we're sitting down here with Carter Hulsey, one of the performers tonight. Man, I listened to your new album, Haunt Me.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
Yeah,
just came out. Yeah. What was it? February 24th?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Just came out.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you
I dug
very
it.
much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I sat down, listened to the whole thing start to finish.
Well, thank you.
Wanted to get to know you on that level before we sat down. So
thank you.
On a personal level.
Did you record that here, or you're from Joplin?
I spent most of my life in Joplin. I've lived in Nashville though for the last 9 months.
Oh, cool.
And I recorded the record out there.
Where at?
At a place called Little Red Studios. It's in Kingston Springs, so it's just like 15 miles outside of Nashville.
Cool.
One of my real good friends, his name's Gooding. He produced the record and played a lot of the stuff on it. So we just did that out there. So it's been going good, man.
And now you're here.
Now I'm here. I think this is my third time playing.
Really?
Land Run 100. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're not new to this.
I'm not. Bobby. One of the first tours I ever did, I think I was 18 years old, was with his band. and my band. So I've known Bobby.
Now, what was your band back then?
I don't even want to say the name of it. I don't want people to be able to find it. It was angsty pop punk music. That's what we did.
You're in good company, man. I'll probably dig it.
It wasn't good. So.
Josh still plays angsty pop punk.
I play in 2 pop punk bands.
My favorite band of all time will always be the Lawrence Arms. I don't know if you know them, but
I love Lawrence Arms.
That's one of the few records from my childhood that I still listen to once a week.
Which record? Which record are you speaking?
The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Okay, thank you.
That's the.
A lot of people go, "Oh, Calcutta."
I do love.
They're all great.
Starting with Devil's Taking Names. That's some heavy. That's some heavy stuff. Is Key to the City on that one too? There's a bunch. I could talk about the Lawrence Arms forever.
I love Lawrence.
So these are going to be kind of short and sweet today. We're sitting down with the performers, the acts for tonight, but kind of gave you the spiel about the show. So basically, just to start off, like, man, how'd you get started playing music? Yeah,
so I was probably 12 years old, just being a kid and rummaging through all my parents' closets and stuff while they were upstairs, and I found a guitar. I found a 67 Guild. It's like an F20, so it's like Bob Dylan style, real small, and I didn't know we had it, and so I grabbed it and immediately ran up to the room, and I was like, tell me about this. And my mother had given it to my father as their wedding present. He took one lesson and then realized he was never going to be Willie Nelson, so he put it back in the case and never got it out again. He remembered one chord. Remembered how to play a G chord after 30 years.
Now, is that the first chord? Because that's the first chord I ever learned.
That's the first chord, right?
G, D, C, maybe an A minor.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's every song.
Yeah, it's every song.
Yeah. It's funny, man, because I did the same thing. I started playing guitar when I was about 14, 15 years old. But many years before that, I was probably 8 or 9. We would go fishing at my grandma's house out in Ada, Oklahoma. And she had, I guess it was, I don't know who owned it. Maybe it was her husband's, or maybe it was, I don't know. But they had this old Fender Strat.
Nice.
And it just sat in the case. Never saw the light of day. I mean, this thing was beautiful. And I remember taking it out kind of sneakily because I didn't want to get in trouble. I was staying in the room that the Strat was underneath the bed.
Yeah.
And I would take it out and I would just strum it. Like, I wouldn't even hold a chord. I would just strum it. And I just fell in love with like the resonance and the way it felt. And then years later, I was like, I really want to play guitar. And I will never forget. It was like pulling this like sacred thing out that I knew I wasn't supposed to touch, but I didn't fuck it up. I wasn't hurting anything.
You get your sticky little peanut butter fingers on it.
Right. Yeah.
14-year-old peanut butter fingers.
Booger fingers or whatever. But I remember just like connecting with it and being like, thinking like someday I'm gonna learn how to play this thing.
Yeah.
And who knows what happened to the guitar, but it sounds like kind of a similar story. You know?
And it was really cool. When I was 12, I was really into soccer and doing some competitive stuff and
kid shit.
Yeah. And I got hurt pretty bad and had to stop for a long time. And I remember I was really bummed about it, talking with my parents, and they're like, the guitar is something you're going to be able to do for the rest of your life. And so then, after hearing that, I just focused all my time on mainly songwriting. I'm not a great guitar player, but I do enjoy songwriting and how all that goes.
Also in good company.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
No shredder.
I'll never stop doing that. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. Okay. So you started playing back then, took lessons or what?
I did. I took lessons for a little while. Probably for a year or two. And then,
classic story.
Yeah. And then, when I quit, I remember the teacher saying, he's like, you're not going to practice. You're not going to play. And I played so much more after I stopped. I started learning what I wanted to learn and fell even more in love with it. But definitely really got into songwriting more than playing after that. So just kind of focused on that.
There's some guitar for you.
There's some guitar check right outside.
See, that sounds like a 5150.
It is a 5150.
So what was your first good guitar? That's a question I always ask people. Everybody, it might not be the best guitar, might not be your first guitar, but your first guitar that you really remember, that you really bonded with.
A Dan Electro. Do you know with the lipstick pickup? Yeah.
That's crazy. This man's been on a Dan Electro hunt.
I've had many. I'm a guitar flipper.
Yeah.
I love to buy them, fix them up.
Flipper.
Like I do like cool acrobatic like emo moves. No, I like to buy them, fix them up, and then sell them. And hang on to it if it's something I like. I've got a few that I'll never get rid of.
Yeah.
But this guy's the same way. We both are kind of flippers.
Yeah.
At heart.
That's awesome.
I've been through probably 300 guitars in my life.
Wow.
Like I love buying and selling guitars.
I can't sell a guitar.
There's two types of people.
I can't. I think I own every guitar I've ever bought.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? See, I have a few that I sold, and I just. I was like, the money sounds good, or I bought it cheap and I ended up selling it, making a little profit. But there are a few that I'm like, man, I wish I wouldn't have got rid of. One of which was a Dan Electro. And I'm on this quest to find a dead-on 67. They're a rare, newer Dan Electro. We went to this music store.
Was made in 67 or
no? It's a replica. They were made in like 2008. to 2012.
I'll send you a picture of mine because
Is it the real deal?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. But I've never had a lot of guitars. I just buy what I need. I buy it at the top. I play a Hummingbird now. I've had it for since 2010. And I'll never sell it. It'll always be the guitar I play. So yeah, I don't have that many guitars. A couple SGs and a Fender 72 Telly. It's the reissue, but it's the hollow up top.
Okay, yours is the F top. I'm a big fan of the double humbucker.
That's what I got. It has two humbuckers.
But it's got the F hole.
Mine's a thin line, I guess.
Okay, that's the difference.
Okay.
There's something about those guitars. Like they're the best of both worlds. You get the stylistic cool shitness of the Telecaster.
Yeah.
But then you get the ballsiness of like
You get a
the
little beef.
humbucker.
That through an AC15 like a Vox or AC30. That's my favorite guitar tone. Is just.
It's so funny you bring those two guitars
Like a
up
low wattage
because
amp.
on the way up here today, we were talking about the 72 Custom Telecaster.
Nice.
And then after we set up today, we had some time to kill. So we walked down the street to this music store and I was looking for a Dan Electro.
Yeah.
And I have been, and I'm on Reverb looking all the time. And they're kind of rare to find. They didn't make a lot because they didn't sell well.
Yeah.
So that makes me want it even more.
Well, that makes me feel like mine's not the one you're looking for.
Hey, maybe, I don't know.
It's peach colored.
Ooh.
Oh
It's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a cute little kind of peachish pink. It's a cool guitar.
Awesome. So so you started playing in bands. How much later?
Yeah, I think I recorded my first record 13 or 14, probably, just with just me and a drum. We wanted to be Alkaline Trio, so we just, it's just like that kind of stuff.
You were preaching to me, my man.
So yeah, and I've been in bands and doing solo stuff ever since then.
Yeah.
I don't love recording. I like performing and writing, but I've recorded a lot of stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like there's two types of people. There are people who love to be in the studio, love to take their time, and then there's people who get in there and they just want to get it over with and get back to playing
shows, touring.
And you'd say you fit into the second category.
Yeah.
You're currently on tour now, right?
Well, this is kind of just a one-off for me. I have this, and then I'll go back to Nashville. And then on the 19th, I start tour in Denver. So then I'll tour. I did a bunch of East Coast stuff a couple weeks ago. This is kind of a break for me. I just came here to do this.
I think that's happening with a lot of people. It's like Matt Pryor's doing the same thing. We'll pause and then going back out. Oh.
Yeah. That's what we're doing, and we'll start in Denver and then work our way back to the East Coast. So all the Midwest and some East Coast stuff. So
see, we were curious because we thought maybe you guys were just going to be solo, like acoustic, and then we see the amps on stage, and you're doing full band tonight.
I'm not. I think that's a surprise. A surprise Bobby secret performance that he's going to do. I don't know all the
is
details.
Bobby going to get up there and play in his Christian band that he used to be in?
I think so.
I'll play bass. Josh can play drums.
Heck yeah, dude.
It'll be a great time.
It's going to be. He's telling me to keep it on the down low.
Well, this isn't coming out for a week.
That's why I feel very comfortable talking
Go ahead and
about it.
spoil the shit out of it.
Okay, yeah. Bobby's going to do some kind of track cover thing up there. It's like Top Gun thing, I think. I don't know. Bobby's insane. Who knows?
I hope so.
Who knows what he's going to
Start
do?
calling him Goose.
Yeah.
Or is he more of a maverick?
He's kind of a maverick, man.
I don't know.
I've never seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies.
He's
I don't know.
an Iceman because of the haircut. He's got that
I only know
spiky...
Iceman from Meet the Parents when the volleyball scene. That's the only reason I even know these nicknames.
I'm not a big
Iceman.
I'm not a big movie watcher either.
Yeah.
Like I like a documentary.
Yeah,
I like a TV
documentaries.
series.
Yeah.
Like I love The Office, like The American Office, things like that. But it's hard for me to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's real hard.
Yeah.
I rarely go to a movie.
Yeah. For me, it's just I get so antsy, and it's 2.5 hours. I don't want to do this for 2.5 hours. The Office is my favorite show of all time. It goes
That's a high five for
The
this guy.
Office, The West Wing, and then have you guys seen This Is Us? I don't even know if we're supposed to be talking about television.
This Is Us.
No,
I
that's
haven't
fine. We're
cried
talking
in
about
like
whatever.
9 years, and I was watching that with my mother when I came home to visit. So I went and saw my family before I came to this. And we started watching it, and I turned into a baby. I cried at a commercial, a radio commercial on the way here. I just cry now. Ever since watching that show, I'm just a crier.
Speaking of movies that you don't go to movies a lot,
Hardly ever.
New movies and crying. Have you seen Logan yet?
No.
Okay.
Is
That's
that
actually
like
on the-
Wolverine?
The Wolverine, dude.
I
I cried like 3 times in that,
Really?
dude. Like in a theater with my wife next to me, trying not to be like, and there's a scene where I audibly go, like trying to hold it in, like
We rarely go to movies. Also, we went and saw Logan. I actually have it on our list here. We keep a list of topics.
Yeah.
And I didn't full on like
Right,
boo-hoo cry,
yeah.
but I definitely
Tears
got
were coming down.
Right.
I was real glistening. Real glistening.
I'm full on crying at this Is Us show.
I'll
full
check that out.
on crying.
Something about a good cry
Now,
Yeah.
makes you feel good.
so
you know?
Yeah.
is This Is Us Carter approved?
It's-
I need to know.
Yeah.
Is it worth seeing?
The writing is just unbelievable. So I love any kind of really, really great writing, and whoever's writing that show it's unbelievable. It's my favorite
IMDb this.
drama since The West Wing.
Dang.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
West Wing is a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Pretty good show.
Yeah.
Cool. So how's the new album doing, man? You getting some good reviews?
It's been going really good. I sold way more pre-order than I ever have for a record. I didn't even know people bought CDs anymore, so that was incredible. And I've been getting to do a lot of cool shows and got some really cool stuff. Hopefully coming up in talks with some cool things. So
Cool.
We'll see. But it's been really good. Yeah.
Excellent. So,
And it was a little more. I'd never had fiddle on a record. I never had steel on a record. So, but I've always grown up on that, the Texas music of my parents. So I was in Nashville. I got to put. They all live there, so
of course,
it's.
You could throw a rock and find these musicians.
Yes, and I have I got some great guys. Garth Brooks, fiddle player. Jimmy Mattingly, he's the one doing all the fiddle.
What?
Lyle Lovett, steel player, does all the steel.
That's awesome.
Loretta Lynn's keyboard player did all the piano and organ. It was really cool. I was able to get some really cool people to come out and be on it. So
well, let me ask you this. So we all started out in like our pop punk bands. We had our influences when we were younger.
Some of us didn't grow out of
Some
it.
of us are still
got those training wheels on.
I wouldn't call them training wheels as much as like.
I'm freaking out that Matt Pryor's here.
Yeah,
I'm freaking out.
Yeah, we all kind
I'm
of
gonna play
are.
it really cool. He's probably gonna hear this anyway.
I hope
I'm gonna
so.
play it really cool, and in a week it won't matter because that's when this comes out. Right?
Allegedly, he's coming on here, so
May or may
imagine,
not.
Imagine how.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, and he's gonna be sitting where you are, and I'm gonna be like staring at him the whole time, like.
We had the talk on the way up here because we came from Oklahoma City. It's about an hour and a half from here.
Yep.
And we had the talk like, we got to play it cool.
Yep.
No geek out. We started like deciding what we were going to ask him because it's like, we don't want to be like, so tell me about something to write home about.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
no, we got.
And then I
be
start
cool.
humming Holiday, and then it's just awkward.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
gets weird. Yeah.
You're like peering in the window, like Carter, you're supposed to be playing right now.
No, I'm excited to. If that's just fingers crossed, knock on wood, that happens. I kind of want to get the question of what was your first band? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when was it shitty? Because
Yeah.
they started when they were teenagers, and they started good.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of our high school bands, junior high bands were not that great.
Nah, not so good.
No, not so good, Al.
So how? My question going back was: so we all start out with our influences when we're younger.
Yep.
We morph, we change. Some of us don't. Some of us do.
Right.
Some of us try and fail. That would be me. But so how did you get to where you are now? Like, because I listen to your new record.
Right.
There's a lot of influences. It's got a little bit of country. It's
Yeah.
got some like rock.
Yeah.
I got kind of like a Ryan Adams vibe to it,
Yeah.
which I hope that's okay to say.
Oh, yeah. He's- yeah.
I got that vibe from some of the moments and
Yeah.
some of the songs, and I just always am curious to ask people, how did you evolve into what you are now?
Yeah, I think like I said, growing up was just really full of music at my parents' house. I remember I was like 8 or 9, and I'm sitting with my mom, and she's playing Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboys by Elton John, that record. And she says, "Listen to the drum tones on this song." And it's like to have your mother tell you something like that.
That's
to have
a cool mom.
That's a badass
So
mom.
always like those records, like Jerry Jeff Walker, like that kind of Texas stuff. Those have always stuck with me, and I've always loved that. But growing up, I was into. What everybody was my brother loved the Get Up Kids, so I was into the Get Up Kids, and Out Trio and the Lawrence Arms and like all that kind of stuff. And I think that was just cooler, like for me as like growing up when I was younger to want to play the electric guitar.
Your teenage
and
angst,
you're just like
just distort the shit out of this.
and we're just yelling and
Yeah.
just. But I've always loved, I've always written on an acoustic guitar only, and I've always had that in the back of my mind. So as I've gotten older, I've gone more acoustic and more singer songwriter feeling. And like you said, Ryan Adams, when Heartbreaker came out, like there's records that just change your life. Like The Greatest Story Ever Told, Lawrence Arms did that for me. Heartbreaker did that for me too.
This Is Us.
Yeah, This Is Us
Obviously.
is my literal heartbreaker.
That's what the album's based on, right? Like you went home, you just wrote the
This
album.
Is Us. Yeah,
super
yes,
quick.
yes, it is all about that.
You're like, overweight people falling in love. Let's add some steel guitar. It's great. It's great. All right. Well, dude, we're going to let you get to it. We just wanted to grab you for a few minutes and talk. And it's CarterHulsey.com.
CarterHulsey.com.
New record, Haunt Me. It's on Spotify. Or buy a CD.
Buy a CD. People still make those.
You pressing that on vinyl?
Yes.
Okay. Get the vinyl,
Get the vinyl.
Get the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. Like, I went through this thing recently, and we talked about it on a previous episode, but I didn't have a CD player for the longest time, and I had all these CDs from growing up. That's why, I'm just at that age where I had a few tapes, and then I jumped to CDs. Back when I was buying like No Effects and all that shit, Offspring, all that stuff, Green Day. And I didn't have a CD player, so I bought a Discman on eBay, like the exact one I had when I was a kid. And I forgot how much work it is to change CDs and not have it all on your phone.
Get it out of the
But it's cool, though.
Yeah.
I think that's why people love vinyl, too, is it's a tangible interaction with the record. Like, you actually physically, you're not searching for something on Spotify. It's like, I'm going to make some effort to play this, and it's you're holding it as it moves. Like, I miss that kind of stuff.
I think... go ahead.
Sorry. I was saying records like Haunt Me are ones that you definitely want to listen to on vinyl. I know it sounds cheesy and hack, I guess, but like that kind of a sound... It's the hearing the
warmth,
needle, the warmth, the warmth of the vinyl.
Yeah,
you don't want that,
which is a real thing.
It is a real thing.
Needle on wax. It's a real thing.
Yep. Wax. There you go.
I think coming from that era of tapes and CDs, it made me an album person very young. Are you a song person or an album person?
I'm a song person.
Are you?
I'm embarrassed to say that. I don't
Singles,
tell people that.
Do you like the singles?
I usually don't like the singles. I like the weird song on every record.
The deep cut.
I'm a deep cut guy, but yeah, I'm a song guy.
Nothing in the world wrong with that. No judgment here, man. No judgment.
There are some records that it's just the entire record for me, but mostly I'm a 1 or 2 song a record guy.
All right, not to put you on the spot, but what's your favorite stuff right now? Like, what do you listen to right now?
I'm trying to think of what I listen to. Listen, I almost only listen to NPR when I drive. I don't listen to music, but I did listen to the Turnpike Troubadours the entire way here. I love, I'll do that every once in a while. I listen to a bunch of Sturgill Simpson today, the new Ryan Adams stuff. I think I listened to You Can Call Me Al, if we're being totally transparent and honest right now.
That's what we're all about.
I think I did.
Paul Simon, my friend.
Yeah. So
that song has a bitchin' bass line.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
The whole thing's wonderful. Have you seen the documentary?
No.
Oh.
Is it of Graceland?
Yeah, and it's like just how they made it. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
So okay, I'm adding this to the list. I got This Is Us, the Graceland documentary, and then you're gonna watch Top Gun.
I am gonna watch Top Gun.
Report back to us. We're gonna compare notes. But yeah, man, you're about to go on pretty soon, so we're gonna let you go. Again, CarterHulsey.com.
Thanks,
man. Have you.
All right, we're here with Matt Pryor from the Get Up Kids. He just insulted our podcast.
I did not.
We're going to get this started right.
But he, like another Matt friend of ours, hates headphones.
Yeah. Some people just don't like them.
They just start to crush your head after a while.
That's true.
If you want to get real fancy, then you get like in-ear monitors and put them in.
But that'd be
headphones.
Weird for a podcast. So put these little in-ears in and looking at
So thanks for doing this, man.
Whatever you want to do for comfort.
That's true, I guess. Yeah.
We appreciate your time, man. I know you got a lot going on today, playing. How did this come about?
Bobby emailed me, I think through Facebook.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Just like
that's how you email now.
Well, that's how people tend to hit me up. But and he's just like, "Hey, do you want to come down and play this thing we're doing?" And I was like, "Well, it's only 4 hours away. Yeah, sure." And then kind of have to figure out that fun little dance of what are you going to pay me?
Of
and
course,
then and then that was fine. And then he's like, "Yeah, we'll put you up in this apartment and we'll give you all of our the beer that they had made for this."
Landrunner 100 by Iron Monk.
And so it's kind of nice because it's like I drove down with my wife and 2 of my kids, and we're just like chilling and
little family road trip.
So it's like a family weekend road trip, but then Dad gets to make a little money, play some songs.
Yeah, it pays for itself.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
and it's 4 hours.
I would come down anyway to do the gig, but because it's so close and it's on a weekend, then it's like, yeah, why not? Just come down, and we're gonna take like the back way home. Go like the back roads
Scenic
and stuff.
route.
Yeah, because God, I hate I-35 between Kansas City and Texas.
Driving from Oklahoma to Kansas is the fucking worst.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. It's not as bad actually as I-70, like KC to St. Louis, but it's pretty boring.
Boring, and then you start seeing all those like Jesus-y, like anti-abortion signs.
Yeah,
and stuff
a lot of Trump stuff.
A lot of Trump stuff. A lot of Trump stuff.
So yeah, it's no secret, man. We're fans of yours. Like, we're fans of Get Up Kids, going way back. I mean, way back. Yeah, he's
playing the Top Gun theme is what he's played.
Oh, that's what it is.
Okay, yeah.
So we are missing something.
Yeah, so Carter wasn't bullshitting us. He said that. We interviewed him a few minutes ago, and he was like, yeah, I think he's doing some kind of Top Gun thing.
He just told me, he goes like, Bobby's like, yeah, we're gonna do this Top Gun thing. He's like, don't tell anybody. I'm like, who am I gonna tell? And I was like, my kids.
Yeah.
And
are they gonna know?
And I was like, oh, is it the? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I know that. We used to play that all the time. And he's like, can you get up and play with me? And I'm like, probably not.
And that's why he wanted us to go outside.
Well, we can hear it from here. It sounds great.
Yeah, Bobby, you're kicking ass out there playing the Top Gun.
You're
theme.
shredding, man.
Well, I was wondering because they had a drum set up and a guitar amp. No bass. I was like, what's going on here?
Well, and I'm the headliner, and I'm just playing acoustics. So I don't know why there's.
Yeah. Well, man, we caught you coming through Oklahoma City last time, and great show.
It was fun.
Decent turnout. Small venue, smallish venue.
That was perfect because the last time we've never done very well in Oklahoma. It's weird, like being from Kansas City, we've never done well in Oklahoma, and we've never done well in Nebraska, or Iowa, and it's just because we never put the time in. We would always be like, okay, let's go to Minneapolis and then Chicago, or let's go straight to Texas.
Like even in the early days, like
maybe played Oklahoma like 4 times.
Really?
Well, the last time I saw you guys before then was at the Granada is that in Lawrence? Right, yeah, that's what we saw you, and that was on one of the reunion tours.
Okay,
that's the one that you guys filmed, I believe, right?
That's at Liberty Hall.
Okay,
which is like a big theater there.
This was at the Granada, beautiful theater. You guys were on one that night, just killing it. Killed in Oklahoma City too, but there was just something special about seeing you guys in Lawrence. It was pretty awesome. Fast forward, went to the anniversary reunion.
Oh, at the Bottleneck.
Yeah. Also
saw
amazing.
You there, actually.
Oh, really?
Saw
my daughter actually opened that show. She played first on that show.
See, we missed that.
No, we walked in like right
at the tail end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's supposed to play with me today, but she got really kind of sick in the car, so she's kind of like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Dad, you got to do this on your own.
I can't handle it.
You got to fly solo.
Yeah.
So, man, like, how have things changed? Because when you were in the Get Up Kids, back in the 90s, and now still, of course, but when you hit your success back then, 90s, early 2000s, how is it different now being a dad? Like, do you think about bringing the kids along often, or does it just when it works out? Or?
At this point, I've been touring as a parent longer than I was before.
In a band. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like with Get Up Kids, because it's its own, it's 5 alphas. You know what I mean? Like there's no one's in charge. We're all in charge, and we're all not in charge. It's. And so you kind of have to have this like neutral space. Like if we were on a bus, I would never be like, oh, I'm bringing the kids on the bus, and I would expect the same from them, which is like, no, this is neutral space. We each get our own little bed, our own little coffin that we get to sleep in. But with my stuff, especially playing acoustic, and now that my kids are getting into performing, I'm just like, like my daughter's on tour with me now, like I'm doing like 2 weeks a month for the next 3 months with Dan Andriano from the Alkaline Trio. And Lily's coming out with me. She's like playing a solo set at the front of the show. She's doing like virtual school for high school. So she's basically doing like online classes in the van. And then she's performing with me too. And it's been great.
Nice. Now, are you in the middle of this thing with Dan?
That's her. Lily's just saying, what's the Wi-Fi?
Classic kid.
Yeah.
Classic me. I do it every time I go
teenagers.
somewhere. Yeah.
We did it. So we did the first leg was like Florida to Texas last month. And then we start on Thursday in Lawrence and do like the Midwest. And then we do the East Coast in April and the West Coast in May.
Nice.
And then take the summer off.
Probably a smart move.
Yeah. That's a lot of
Gotta
work.
play kickball.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Do you play kickball?
That's prime kickball season.
I grow vegetables and play kickball in the summer.
Awesome.
I try to tour seasonally whenever possible so I can,
Totally.
Pay for the kickball and
do the things
growing
that
vegetables.
are things that are important. Kickball and gardening.
We spoke when you love podcasting, but you haven't done one in a while. What's up? Why have you taken a break from the podcast?
2 reasons. One is that I have too much other stuff going on, and it was taking up time, and it wasn't making any money, and it was kind of like I need to be spending my time doing. That sounds greedy, but it's just like it really did take like, I don't know, it's only like 4 or 5 hours a week, but like the scheduling's a pain, and then I started to feel like a dick, just like asking people all the time and all that jazz, and then some ultra marathoners trying to get in here and kick our asses.
No.
The other thing was that like I kind of like the whole point was to like just talk to my friends and like tell like tour stories and stuff, and it started to get to the point where I was like getting calls from publicists and like talking to bands that I didn't know or like, and then they were like treating me like I was a regular interviewer, and I was just like, this is not. I'm not a journalist. Like this is not. Like I'm not here to promote your record. I'm here to like, you know, if you got a good story about that one time you played in Oklahoma City, then that's what I want to hear. You know,
it's kind of our vibe too. It's like we'll throw promotion stuff towards the end, but it's more about like our whole podcast is about like how you got to where you are, dumb shit you did when you were a kid. Basically, it's kind of growing up before the internet, like the crazy shit you got into.
And I think that like the podcast format, like there's plenty of people, whether they're comedians or musicians or actors or filmmakers. I'm just like, I want to support that person because I listened to a conversation that they had. They were funny. They were charming. They were, you know, like, I don't know, like I'm really addicted to, been watching Pete Holmes' show Crashing because I love his podcast, and I'm just like, I'll support until he fucks me. I'll support, which he would never would. Like not literally, no, figuratively, spiritually. But like, I'm just a fan of his podcast. So I'm like, and I'll check out the show, and the show's great. And it's just, I don't know, it's its own form of advertisement without having to be like, hey, yeah, we really wanted to like, you know, I was feeling really depressed on this record, and I really wanted to get that all out. And it's just like, boring.
I don't want to hear about that.
Well, a question I have for you is, so, you know,
how did you feel when you wrote it?
I'll give you you give me the stock questions. I'll give you the stock answers.
Here we go. What is Something to Write Home About?
It's a record that came out in 1999.
Bam. Okay.
Where did you get the name for your podcast?
It's the name of the record that came out in 1999.
Dumb question.
But more accurate.
Dumb questions with Robbie Ray.
Yeah. Embarrassing yourself with
Something
Robbie Ray.
to Write Home About, though, is one of those things where, like, as with, every single Get Up Kids album title, it's like, okay. Okay, if we don't come up with anything better by Thursday, then that's what it's going to be.
And the next thing you know, we're printing it. Yeah. All right, cool. I guess that.
What's like funny about guilt show. It's like guilt. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Like it's just like
I've racked my brain. Like guilt. What does that mean? Okay, maybe what it means is this. Like no, it doesn't mean anything. It means two words we threw together.
It means fuck nothing.
Yeah. Well, we've been in our little bands and stuff, and it's like there's two approaches to naming anything: a song, an album, whatever. Right. It's like you can either toil over it, or a band. You can toil over it. You can overthink it like it means the world, or you can go, oh, that's cool. Somebody said that. That's cool. We'll do that. And
you got to find that balance though of like, because you don't want to like half-ass it either.
Yeah.
But you don't. I was having this conversation with Jim, the guitarist and Get Up Kids, the other day, because he's like, we're gonna go record some stuff next month. He's like, do we even have songs? I'm like, yeah, we got songs. They're up here.
They're in the noggin. I got them.
And he's like, we haven't even like demoed anything. I'm like, don't be so precious about everything. They're just songs, like like.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's me. He's very precious about. Like I'd be like, what if we just did the chorus once? This time around, and he goes, oh, I guess you just don't like rock and roll then. And I was like, what?
It's so funny you use that word because I had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier. It's like I always try to not be so precious about things, and it's like I have this mantra where it's like everything's important, but nothing matters. Like don't overthink everything. Just let it happen, and things will pan out. But don't be so precious about every little thing.
Well, now you got to be careful too, because now the precious thing is like snowflake, or like the thing that like the Trump types like talk about like PC people, and it's just like, well, no, I mean like being PC is not really like a bad thing. It's just not being a dick. Right. You know what I mean? Like you just. Like,
well, and I'm not the kind of guy that gets offended about everything, but I think that feelings do matter, and you shouldn't. Like anybody who's really like hardcore into like Trump or this neoconservatism, alt-right bullshit or whatever. Yeah. It's like no
white supremacy.
Yeah, thinly veiled racism. Yeah, thinly veiled racism.
Not very thinly veiled anymore.
It's pretty out there.
Okay, fucking racist, whatever. But like. Don't be a dick. Like, just don't be an asshole.
Well, this has come up lately with, like, because my kids' generation, like my daughter and her friends, like very, like, gender fluid. And granted, like, when you're 14, 15, you know, we're all at least gay some of the time when you're that, you know, you're trying to figure out who you are or whatever. And like, and it's just kind of like, well, sometimes someone feels like wants to use a male pronoun and sometimes female pronoun. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Like whatever you want. I don't care. Like if you want to be called Cynthia today, then I don't get, just tell me. Cause like, you know, I don't want to call you Gary. That's the problem is so many people are just like, why should I have to do that? And it's just like, well, because that's what it is. Like if you're, you know, when I was going through my glam metal phase and I wanted to have a mullet when I was in high school, then you got to respect that too. Even though I look like a damn fool.
Absolutely. So let's go back, man. So the pretense of this show is to kind of like how you get to
You
where
don't want
you
to just talk about politics the whole time?
No, I do. I do. Yeah, let's just talk about Trump.
So when are you going to start that political punk band?
We kind of already did.
I saw your Instagram post about that.
So we did 3 songs, and me and Jim and Josh each sing one. And the one that I sang is called Double Speak, and it's about Trump. Okay. And it's about Jim's like, "This is a song about Trump," and I'm like, "Yes, I'm angry." This is what all of my songs are going to be about this from now on.
So I take it you voted for him.
Oh yeah, big time, like 4 times.
Hard. I had to do that because it was rigged. The whole thing was all rigged. There's a rig system.
I drove around and
all 3 of my kids voted for him. My dog voted for him.
All the undocumented workers, which is also
then Oklahoma hasn't voted for like a single Democrat in like 100 years.
It's when
you guys are even more conservative than Kansas.
Yeah.
Dude, it sucks. It sucks. Like, you want to talk about being a snowflake?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a snowflake in hell here. Like, it's insane, dude. Like, the amount, we were talking about driving through Kansas and seeing the Trump stuff, but like, you see it on cars all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
And it's weird.
Because I have these conversations with people because like a lot of like Bernie people in Lawrence, and like I was very pro Bernie, but at the same time, I was sort of like pro realism, and I thought that, you know, he didn't get the nomination for whatever reason. So but like people who think that like maybe this is the catalyst that we need to like then, you know, and maybe we need to burn Gotham to the ground. You know, it's like Ra's al Ghul style. Like, we've got to burn Gotham to the ground in order to build it back up. And just kind of like, yeah, okay, I see that, but just a lot of people are going to get fucking hurt. You know,
I don't think
between
people
now
realize,
and then.
like, you hear that a lot, and it's, great. That's on paper, that sounds like a fucking great idea, but in action,
it's one of those like Ayn Rand, like political theories, you know, it's just like, but still people are going to get detained for 16 hours at the airport.
People are probably going to die.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be
they already are.
Yeah,
Well, and truth be told, I went through my Ayn Rand phase. Like, I think everybody did, or at least knew somebody that did, you know, but then as I'm older and I look back, I'm like, you know what? That was really cute, Rob. Like, that was cute to think that maybe that was like gonna
I went through a straight edge phase, you know? It's just like...
Do you have the tattoo?
No, God, no.
Good. Okay, good.
No one I don't know anybody. First tour we ever did, people thought we were straight edge. And we were like, what?
Why?
Went vegan? Because we were on Doghouse and it was like a hardcore label. And we're just like, no.
Wait. Doghouse was a hardcore label?
At the time, yeah. It was like Endpoint. No, was Endpoint? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was considered a hardcore label.
Because my memory of Doghouse is Get Up Kids.
But that all changed with us. You know, like it was like Doghouse and Initial, and but it was like, oh, you guys are like straight edge and vegan, right? And I'm like,
no.
What the fuck is that?
I like getting fucked up and give me a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So 2, please.
So going back, I wanted to ask you, like, before Get Up Kids, okay?
Okay.
Was there ever, a lot of bands were bands before they were the band that made it, you know, so to speak. Was there a version of Get Up Kids before that, or what were the bands you were in before that? I want to know, like, how you got to Get Up Kids.
Okay, I'll try to do this as briefly as possible.
Sure.
I can make this like super complicated, but it's really everything that happened in like a 2-year period. So I started playing shows when I was 15. The first band I was in was called Take a Joke. When I was...
Punk band? Sounds like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Punkish. Christians in a band?
Christians in a band.
No. Recovering Catholics in a band.
There you go.
Even better.
But I played drums and guitar, like me and the drummer and the guitar. We'd alternate. It was bad. The singer played a flute.
What?
It was weird.
Okay.
It's just, you know,
Arcade Fire?
No. It's nothing that thought out. Just kind of like he didn't
smoking a lot of fucking weed or something.
He was.
Okay. There you go.
It was just one of those, like, we don't know how to play our instruments, so we're gonna, you know, write songs that sound like people who don't know how to play their instrument.
Right.
And so then when I was in high school, so like 16, 17, I was in this band called Secular Theme, and we were this anomaly in the Kansas City music scene in that we were all high school age kids. We wanted to be the Nation of Ulysses. We wore suits. We quoted Reservoir Dogs all the time.
Sure.
And we made like noise rock with a really energetic stage show, like jumping, like kind of at the drive-in-ish.
Yeah.
You know,
Nation of Ulysses even.
Yeah. And so that kind of like, when that kind of like trickled out, and then it's kind of getting into more like wanting to play guitar. I mean, I played guitar in that band, but like wanting to sing and trying to learn how to sing. And then Jim and I were in a pop punk band called Secret Decoder Ring for a little while, which then, so how did this work? It like, Jim and Rob and Ryan were in a band in high school called Kingpin. That broke up. Ryan was in it all got convoluted. And then it was me and Jim and Rob and this guy, Nathan, started playing together just for fun. And we wanted to do like Boys Life, early Jimmy Eat World, Christie Front Drive, that kind of stuff. And that's what became the Get Up Kids. The name comes from a secular theme song that was Suburban Get Up Kids, which was about all the kids from the suburbs, like Jim and Rob and Ryan, that came into Kansas City to go to the shows. And and it just kind of goes from there. And where it's like Nathan left to go to art school, and then Rob's brother Ryan joins the band, and then we play shows, we go on tour. We meet this crazy drummer / keyboard player who's old enough to buy us beer. And next thing you know, we have James DeWeese in the band.
Yeah.
We used to sit around the piano and like drink Rolling Rock of all things, and like watch Twin Peaks and play songs on the piano.
You know, I have a real soft spot for James.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
He just seems like such a sweetie. And Matt, the whole reason we had you here is please hook us up with James.
You want me to call him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe right after. But when you guys came through, like I was like, man, because I love Reggie, and in fact, I think you were playing. You played in Reggie. I saw you guys at the Bottleneck, and I think Coalesce opened. And then there was some terrible metal band that played first. I mean, like,
well, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Is this?
This was a long time ago.
Is this like 1998-ish?
I would say between 98 and 2001, somewhere in there.
Okay, that may have been the very first Reggie and the Full Effect show.
Really?
Because it was Jim's 21st birthday.
Damn.
And it was Get Up Kids anniversary, Coalesce, and Reggie and the Full Effect. And Reggie and the Full Effect was me on bass, Ryan on drums, Adrian from the anniversary on keyboards, and James on keyboards. Who played guitar? Oh, James played guitar. That's what it was. We did a Shania Twain cover.
Dude, maybe that was it.
Still the one I want.
So you went to the first Reggie show?
Maybe so. I mean, don't quote me on that. It was a
and then there was like a really bad like hip hop thing that was like a the guys in the anniversary, some friends of ours in Lawrence, they're just fucking weirdos. And it was just like this weird, it may have had a metal component to it too.
What is that? I've noticed that whether it's like with our friends or bands we know, like people, is it just like a rite of passage where everybody gets to a point where they like want to make hip hop?
I've never gone through that.
Ever?
Yeah. No, because I don't do well with beats. Like I've never been like.
Well, you don't like headphones, so
I don't like headphones. Therefore, I don't like beats.
I get it. I get it.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Beats by Dre.
I didn't get that either.
I thought it was a weird Office reference. I don't know.
No, I got it. It was a good joke.
I'm not
it was definitely a joke.
Was it a joke? That is description of a joke. That is a definition of a joke.
Hey, Matt, can I get one of those Iron Mouse?
Yeah, of course. I was like, hey, Bob, can I have a beer? And he gave me 6 of them.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that
Appreciate
works.
it.
Do you want one?
I'm drinking this other beer that's not theirs.
It's pretty good.
Dude,
it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's tasty.
It's not a bad beer.
Anytime I drink a pale ale, though, if you can see, I get super red.
I don't know what that is, man.
Yeah, I thought maybe you'd just been at the beach or something.
No,
just went tanning.
Just red.
The OKC beach.
I went to the tan and
you get like Midwest coast.
Tan and Tone America.
Yeah, it's just like a lake. That's all it is. It's sad. I've never touched the ocean. I've only seen the ocean.
Oh, really?
I've only seen the ocean once in my life, and it was from the
We just went
Greyhound
to the ocean in. Dan lives in St. Augustine, and we played in Florida. And I took my daughter to the ocean, to the Atlantic Ocean, and she just goes, "I don't like sand." That's all she said. She wasn't like, "Wow, it's majestic and huge." She just
let me ask you something. When she said that,
yeah,
a father's love for a daughter obviously, like the most amazing thing. But what went through your mind when she said
I
that?
remember being like that. I mean,
Yeah.
in this, at the same time that like when things are like she's going through a really big, you know who, in Captain America, the Winter Soldier guy, Bucky Barnes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
She's way into him right now. And she's like, I'm going to be Bucky Barnes. You know, it's his birthday today. And I'm just like, oh God, who the fuck cares? But like,
It's a fictional character.
yeah. She's like, what Hogwarts house do you think Deadpool would be in? And I'm like,
What?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Is this some BuzzFeed thing?
Yeah.
No shit. Is she a writer for BuzzFeed?
Do you find yourself like trying to relate? So you're doing all these BuzzFeed, like which way, who
No,
am I?
I'm super sarcastic. So she knows.
Which golden girl am I?
Yeah.
Which get-up kid am I?
Ugh.
James.
Matt.
Okay, one more question for you, man, and we'll let you go. I know you got to get going here.
Oh, you're fine. I don't actually have to play until 6:30.
Well, then we got you for
Okay, we got
another
another
2 hours.
So kind of a tech question. I'm a gear guy.
Okay.
I'm not a very good guitar player, but I love gear.
Okay.
What's your favorite guitar?
My favorite guitar that I've ever owned, there's a couple. I had a 72 Telecaster Custom that I sold. I don't regret selling anything. I don't believe in it, but it was a really cool guitar, and like now it's worth like $3,500.
Was it the one you played in the action video?
Yes.
So a legit 72 custom.
Yeah.
Not a reissue bullshit.
No. It was cheap too. I bought it in Boston, and it was like $850. And it was like no one was playing Telecasters back then, unless you were in a country band.
Right.
And then no one in a country band wanted a Tele Custom because it has 2 humbuckers in it, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
The chicken picking shit, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can like play this like a Les Paul, but it looks like a Telecaster. And I was getting into like
Exactly what I said earlier. Like it's got the cool fucking look of a Telecaster, but the
which
balls
wasn't
of
a cool
fucking,
look at the time because I was getting into like Steve Earle and like Uncle Tupelo and like all this kind of like quote unquote like alt country, old 97s and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, Telecasters are bitching. Like, you know, like SGs are stupid. Like, you know, like Telecasters it's like, this is a Telecaster that plays like a Les Paul and doesn't have that stupid tiny headstock.
It's got the big fat.
It's got the Stratocaster headstock.
Yeah.
and it's got a neck that's not a fucking bow door. You can,
Yeah.
you know.
So I have recently had Andy Jackson from Hot Rod Circuit makes relict custom guitars. So I had him build me a Tele custom. I don't know what you would call it. Copy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the word.
Is he still in Lawrence?
He's in Alabama.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a great guitar. It's called Jackalope Relics. It looks just like my old one, but it's tobacco burst instead of like just the straight up
Walnut.
wood.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of those guitars too, mainly because the action video, like you said, back then, like no one was playing them, and I saw the videos like, that guitar looks fucking cool. What is that?
Yeah.
It's a Tele with some fucking balls.
Tele with balls.
Yeah.
And then you can, I'm not going to spend, back then it was like, even for the reissues, it was like $700.
Well, and then all the reissues are all like made in Mexico and Korea and stuff because they still make them. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll get one again. I was like, I still have that, like, it's probably stupid, but that like, kind of like leftover snobbery of like, I want an American made guitar, you know, and it's.
My thing is like the older I get, the more I want to do that. Like I can buy a Mexican, whatever, but here's the thing though, with Fenders, apparently the American made ones aren't being made as like some of the Mexican ones are being made better than American
That's what
ones.
I've heard too.
The quality has seriously gone up.
Well,
Like,
it's the thing about too,
Like,
like
even Squires are getting badass for some reason.
really,
Yeah.
Well, like the one I have, like the Martin that I'm playing acoustic is not American made, but it's a workhorse of a guitar. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like I can take it on tour, and if I drop it,
You're not worried about
who
it.
gives a shit? You know, like I took my old Gibson that's only had two. It's a 1960 Gibson, and it's only had 2 owners. One was my father-in-law, and the other one is me, and then the next one will be my kid. You know, it's like it's an heirloom in the family now.
Right.
But if I drop it,
Yeah, you're fucked.
if it falls out of the van, then it's like that's just gone. So it's strictly a museum piece at this point. I used to take vintage gear on the road, but I just.
well, same with James too. Like he used to take like the old synths and stuff, and now it's like a MacBook and a MIDI controller.
It's a point a point of contention amongst our.
Then he has like an M audio controller.
My boyfriend James, he takes a MacBook out now, and there's no Moog, there's no like.
Well, but then like you have like Rob and Ryan who are like total like analog synth. Like Robbie collects analog synthesizers, and he wants like, you know, like a Moog Odyssey, which is like a
Is that the big like suitcase one, or is
It's
it like the
huge,
big
and
wood panel?
It's a big
It
wood.
looks like the telephone connector kind of.
It's huge, but it's just like, and then James is like, or I could just bring a MIDI keyboard and a laptop, and no one gives a shit.
I mean, truth be told, man,
we used to carry a Fender Rhodes in a road case.
Yeah.
Like it's,
and he would stand on top of it.
well, there's cigarette burns in it and stuff.
Yeah.
He wanted this thing for a while, and we had a tech, our monitor guy who went on to work for Bruce Springsteen. Actually, he was like, "Dykus, can you build me a road case for my, my mixer and all this stuff? But then I want one drawer to be hot and one drawer to be cold. The cold one's for beer and the hot one's for hot dogs." And
Wow.
and that's all he wanted out of life.
Did he get it?
He was starting to work on it, and then
Bruce called him up.
Yeah.
Said, "Get to New Jersey. Got a job for you."
no, he was like the archivist for Springsteen. He would be the one who would be in charge of like recording every show and then putting it in the vault and stuff like that.
Damn.
So going back to the guitar thing, like I miss the days before eBay and Reverb, where you could literally go to a pawn shop and find a cool guitar, and it wasn't $3,000.
I bought a like JCM 800 Marshall for $150 at a pawn shop because the guy didn't know what he had.
Yeah.
And that's never going to happen again.
Never. Like, because everybody's
As I was walking out the door,
Googling.
the guy owning the pawn shop started yelling at the guy who sold it to me because it was like an $800 amp. And I go,
put this in the car, get the fuck out of here.
No shit, man. Yeah, I remember because when I was younger, like Jaguars and Jazzmasters were cheap. Like,
right.
you could find like an old Japanese or maybe even an American
offset
Jazzmaster,
guitar, yeah.
any offset for like
I was
$400 or $500.
playing a Jazzmaster for a while, and it felt too like the shape of it felt weird to me. Like I've gotten really used to playing acoustic, and so I really like playing like hollow body electrics. Like I had this great Gretsch Tennessee Rose that I put the like Brian Setzer like hot rodded pickups in it, so you could actually like play power chords on it, and it sounded cool. But it plugging it into a Marshall, it's just like it just like feeds back like crazy. But the Jazzmaster just felt weird and long. Like I was playing a surfboard.
They feel very long.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the offset body or like the scale length, but like I have a Jaguar and a Jazzmaster, and I just like the way the Jaguar feels because it's shorter. It's a shorter scale. The body doesn't.
Is
have
a Jaguar shorter than a Jazzmaster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jazzmaster's 25.5. Jaguar's 24. I think.
I was playing bass in this new band, and I don't play bass. And they're like, "You need a bass?" And I'm like, "Sure, I don't have a bass. I'll play bass. I don't care." And
Is this the punk band?
yeah,
Okay.
it's called Radar State. We finally decided on a name.
Okay. That works for a punk band.
Yeah, it's got a good logo too.
Okay.
Which is probably the most important part.
Of course.
Is it
Like
some
4
stickers and
bars
buttons?
that are kind of offset.
It's like the nautical thing for radar, which is like a half circle with a lightning bolt in it. And so it's something you could spray paint or draw on your folder.
Stencil, yeah, make a cool stencil for
Yeah,
you.
whatever.
Get like a little
It's
stick
punk
and
band.
poke.
Yeah.
Yeah, right under that straight edge tat.
You could give yourself a tattoo with a guitar string of this logo. What was I going to say though? I was playing bass,
yeah.
and so Berwanger brings over this. Now I never remember which is a Firebird and which is a Thunderbird. The Thunderbird, the bass.
Thunderbird's the bass. Well, there's the guitar.
The guitar is the
Firebird's
Firebird.
the guitar.
Yeah.
The Thunderbird.
Which
Yeah,
I've owned one of those once before, and I played it, and I was like, nope, too big.
Yeah.
And so he brought up this Thunderbird bass, and it's like long scale, and I'm like, this is like, I might as well be playing like an upright bass. This is like so big.
Yeah, you got to hold it all odd and shit. Just
Or one of those crazy acoustics you see in like the Mexican restaurant that are just like
Oh, those like
super
those
fucking-
mariachi ones.
Yeah.
Just get a classic P bass, man. That's all you need.
Well, yeah, but I'm also like, I'm the bass player in a punk band. I'm not gonna. It's like,
It's not really gonna do
well, it's
anything.
just like we were in the studio, and Jim's like, "What are you gonna play when we start playing live?" I'm like, "We have 3 songs. Like when we start playing live, I'll buy a bass."
The guy who's all about what was the word we said earlier?
Oh, he's precious.
Precious thing.
Precious
Dude,
and
fuck, we have 3 songs. I'll borrow a bass.
There's something to be said though. Like you see the punk band or you see the band in general, and you got like they all kind of have a look, and then the bass player's playing like a 6-string Warwick, and it's just like,
Oh, see, I'm applying the bass player punk rock logic, which is like I just show up. I might bring the beer.
Yeah.
You know,
but not an amp.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
No,
borrow
we
it.
got to the studio and I was like, well, I'll get the beer, and like, you want to like dial in your sound, and I'm like, it's bass.
It's there.
It's on.
Is it plugged in? I'm good. I'm good to go. It's fine.
There's something to be said for that though. Being the guy that brings the beer. Been in bands, and I've always been the guy that brings the beer. Like I bring a 12-pack. I'm gonna drink in a good practice session, like like a 4-hour practice.
I think you go 2 to 3. maybe 4.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe 6.
Depends on if you have to drive home or not.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, I bring the beer, share the beer. Somebody else brings the beer next time. Guess what? The beer never got brought.
No.
Ever.
Never gets brought.
I'm the one who brings the beer, and then people bitch at me for like putting the beer on the band card. And I'm like, we all drank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you brought the beer to the podcast.
Apparently. Well, that
You
was
walked in
accidental.
with a
I didn't even.
six-pack. It's like, this guy's ready to party.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We got an hour and a half left.
I'm on at 6:30.
You can blame us.
Bobby's like,
I was on this fucking dumb podcast. Got drunk.
They made me wear headphones, and I got drunk.
Bobby's like, do you want
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
He was like, "You want to play for 2 hours?" I'm like, "No,
No.
And I'm like, "It's like even a band show, 2 hours is too long."
An hour acoustic show is kind of pushing it.
It's like 45 to an hour.
45 is
These
good.
are the things that I've learned. If you're going to play for children, if you're going to play a children's show, it's 20 to 30 minutes tops, and you have to say things like, "What sound does a lion make?" and stuff like that.
Some interaction.
Yeah, you got to change your banter. Acoustic show, unless it's got like an intermission, 45 to an hour tops. People can't be quiet long enough.
Yeah.
It's too much to ask of
with
people.
a full band, you can basically, like you did at that show.
You can overpower them.
Like you did at the Oklahoma City show. Someone was yelling out Reggie, and what'd you say? Reggie don't live here no more, or something
like that. Yeah.
Someone's like yelling at Reggie. Reggie don't live here no more, and you go back into your with the full band. You can just control and just start playing.
I'm kind of curious
songs.
to see how like the banter, because like this show, so it's like free show outside, right? So you kind of go into singing like, but the guys who put on the show are big fans.
There's a lot of fans here,
But then I kind of have to assume that a lot of these like marathoner types have no fucking idea who I am at all. So I can't be too big of a dick to the audience. You know what I mean? Like, because like for solo shows, when I know, like people know my personality, they've heard the podcast or they've seen me before, and I don't fuck with people during Get Up Kids shows because I feel like I'm representing.
You're part of the whole.
You're representing the brand.
Well, I'm representing my coworkers, who don't have microphones and can't speak for them. I mean, there are times when someone's going woo, and like in the middle of like I'll catch you, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to get fucking emotional here, man.
like, you shut up. This song will get you laid, you moron.
Yes.
And but which is a common line I've used many times when people are heckling me during slow songs. But for this one, I'm like, okay, well, I got to be try to be funny without being a dick.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
I don't
We've
know.
met before, haven't we? You look really familiar to me.
Probably.
You and Bobby look really familiar to me.
See, I met Bobby a couple weeks ago when we did the podcast up here with him through a buddy of ours. Told him about Bobby. We drove
Do you know
up here
Ricky
for it.
Salthouse?
Yes, I do know Ricky Salthouse.
Okay. You kind of remind me of
Well,
him
he
a
plays
little bit.
guitar. Well, I found that out when we went to that anniversary show that Ricky was playing guitar. I'm like, Ricky's playing guitar at anniversary?
Well, he
That's
plays
fucking
in
cool.
Burwanger's band, and then he filled it in.
yeah,
the
he's
other-
Is that my so-called band, Ricky?
Yeah. Ricky.
Man, that's a racket.
yeah.
Being
Dude,
a 90s cover
they
band?
fucking
They
bang,
dude.
hard.
Yeah, I know they do. He was telling me
Hard.
about it.
I've seen them several times in Oklahoma
And the thing
City.
is, I would go see that, and I would be stoked. I would be so stoked.
yeah. When they
People are, man. People are like dancing.
Crazy, going
the
crazy.
bar is going crazy. Like people ordering drinks. And they have to be banking. Like if they're getting a cut of the beer
It's not a
sales,
racket.
This is a 90s cover band, is what we're
But
talking
they are.
about.
Have you ever heard them?
No, I
and
haven't.
they're not genre specific.
No,
they,
they're
they
not.
know like Snoop
and they are.
Dogg.
Yeah.
They're fucking solid. Like it's not they're just like dicking around.
Ricky's like the secret
Oh,
weapon of any
he's so
band.
Good.
He's like
so good.
He's just a ringer. It's just like, it's like, just have Ricky do it.
Yeah,
You know,
very
like-
good.
I remember my question now.
Okay,
Thank you guys, by the way,
Yeah,
for that little
you're
love
welcome.
connection there. So you were talking about times for acoustic versus band versus
Okay.
Being in a band like Get Up Kids, doing these tours, whether they're touring on an album or just doing a tour, leaving people like me like wanting more. Like, why didn't they play Valentine? Which I mean, you play in Oklahoma City, like that's great. But like, there's always that person in the crowd that's like, man, I wish they would have played X, Y, or Z. And it's like, how do you know when to call it a night? Like, because you guys played a pretty decently long set, but it wasn't one of those sets where it's like, man, okay, we should probably go home, beat the traffic. How do you know when to call it a night?
Well, it's a trial and error thing. Like you kind of like when we did when On a Wire came out, we made this conscious decision that we wanted to play the entire record every night. But then we also knew that people paid money to hear the songs they knew and they could sing along. So we ended up playing for like 2.5 hours every night. We were playing like an 8.5 minute long version of Walking on a Wire, which our booking agent at the time said you should just call that song "Career Killer."
Well, yeah, there's a lot of musical interlude in that song,
right?
Yeah.
Which we've now shortened. You know, it's still a fun song to play, but it's like now we get to about hour 15, hour and a half with encore, and that feels pretty like. And then there's certain songs that we play every night. We play Amy every night. We play Action every night. We play Red Letter Day every night. We play 10 Minutes every night. And then after that, it's like, you're kind of like, if you're doing the kind of like one for you, one for me kind of thing of like, all right, here's Holiday. Here's a song off the new record. Here's Action. Here's a weird B-side or cover that we want to play for fun. And you try to, it's probably like 2-to-1 songs for you versus songs for us. Cause like, I could go my whole life without playing 10 minutes ever again and be totally fine with it.
Is that the song for you guys?
There's a couple of them. Honestly, for me, it's like Holiday and Action, and Red Letter Day because I'm screaming the whole fucking time that I'm singing them.
Wait, and you're not fucking 19 anymore.
No, and it's just like, and if I ever was like, can we tune this down like a half step? They'd be like, fuck you.
Do you guys tune standard?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, half step down. It's the way to go.
Well, I'm afraid to bring it up because I don't want to get shit for it.
Dude, tell them quit being snowflakes. You're not gonna. You won't fuck. Here's what you do.
Then I'm the snowflake because I can still hit the notes. That's the one thing I have going on.
Yeah, but you gotta save. You gotta save that precious voice for the. You got that tour with Dan Andriano
for the podcast.
Yeah, for the podcast that you're not. For our podcast.
For your podcast.
For my podcast.
For our podcast, you got to wear the headphones. Got to have that precious voice.
Gotta have that precious voice.
Prost, y'all.
Is that called Dad? What's it called? Dad what?
Dad.
Rar and Sons Brewing Company. Dadgum IPA.
That sounds delicious.
Okay.
Is it from Texas?
Dadgum IPA.
I'm not sure.
Did you say it was from Texas?
Yeah, it's from Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay. Prost, y'all.
It's great town.
You know Prost? It's German. What they say in Germany when they cheers.
Is that
you say Prost?
Prost.
And then you have to do. Here, I'll show you how you do it.
Yeah.
This is a visual medium.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so he's standing up.
Okay.
All right. Josh is standing up. Okay, they're looking each other in the eye. Okay, top, bottom. Clicking the top of the can, bottom of the can, taking a drink, sitting down, and we're back.
I just prosted Matt Pryor.
We went to Oktoberfest in Munich one time. We had a show in Munich, and then the next day we went to Oktoberfest. And all these drunk old German men are in these beer halls, and I'm going, prosting. And so we don't know what they're saying, so we just start going, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah. And then these old German men would sit down, and we'd order like a round of like gallon-sized beers, or it was
like boots.
That's something I've always wondered about is how do they do it over there? Like, how do they drink so much and then go back to work?
Man.
Is it in the blood? Is it in the genes?
Well, they drink a lower... I've heard this... Okay, so there's European-style drinking, which is like France, where they drink wine every day, drink wine at lunch, but they don't go crazy with it. And then there's quote-unquote frontier-style drinking, which is like cowboy drinking, where like you don't drink for a while, but then when you get to town,
you go hard.
You go fucking hard. You get into fights, you know. And in Germany, it's more European style. Like it's more. Oh, do I have to go?
Nope. You're good. They're bringing more booze.
Oh boy.
We got Bobby at the door. They're bringing in booze.
What is this?
Bobby Wintle, ladies and gentlemen, delivering.
Jesus, Basil Hayden's.
Yeah, of course, Basil Hayden's. Come on.
Bobby Wintle comes bearing gifts.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey,
oh, wow.
Hey guys. Sorry I'm interrupting.
Yo,
No, you're fine.
Man.
I don't think I can drink these till after work.
That sounds fine.
Thanks, man.
Okay, if you do want someone standing.
Okay.
And then this is the double IPA from
Oh, wow.
which is down the street. So.
Jesus Christ, man. Thank you so much.
Bobby, get on there, say hi.
Okay, I'll get on there.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey.
How's it going
guys.
today?
It's pretty insane, actually.
Awesome, man.
going nuts.
Thank you so much for having us, dude.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
How long have you been doing this?
5 years.
The race and everything?
This is the 5th year for the race, so 4 years.
Okay.
4 years for the race.
How long has the bike shop been open?
We opened October 27th of 2011.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is bitchin', man. This is really cool.
Matt, to hear you say that is ridiculous.
So
Yeah, I'm going to put on the record, Matt Pryor wants a hoodie.
Oh yeah, I do want a hoodie.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Snag that man a hoodie.
Because they might sell out.
Okay. All right.
This is one of the problems of like playing things like this, where people are like the people putting on the show are fans. They bring me way too much booze.
Dude, that's like...
That's a nice bottle of whiskey there.
Yeah.
You're holding in front of you like
I might have to share this with my friend who's watching my dogs.
blackout.
You should
blackout
definitely do
city
that.
here.
He's a big whiskey fan.
Bite
Some
your
guy
hand.
gave me some. What is it? Is it Pappy?
Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah.
That's a hard to find whiskey,
I know.
man.
We played a show. I played a solo show in Omaha, and this guy was like, "Oh, you like Pappy? You like bourbon?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he gave me some of that. And I was like, "He's like, this is impossible to get."
It's very impossible.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
What were we
Germany?
talking about? Okay,
Germany.
Germany.
Drinking wine, how do
Frontier
they do it?
drinking,
Frontier
blah, blah,
drinking.
blah.
I mean, and
like the Russians and all that.
Yeah, well, yeah. The further east you go, the it's just kind of like a constant. It's just sort of like it's like wake and bake, but with alcohol. You know, like people who are just stoned all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
You a fan of the weed?
I'm a proponent of it. It's I don't do it often myself, but and we've had this conversation with the kids where it's just like because it's
It's gonna come up.
It's the
it's
90s.
well, and then in school, it's like I'm just like, yes, it's illegal, but that's stupid, like.
But if you lived in like Colorado or
Well, then you
somewhere-
get into that conversation, but then you get into the whole thing of like, well, like alcohol's worse for you than weed is, but it's totally legal. Like cigarettes are worse
Yeah.
for you.
But
and
how
that's
many
true.
times do I have to hear the man? Weed's never killed anyone. It's like, yes, it has. Somebody got stoned and killed themselves, or fucking got in a car wreck. It's happened. It's just not.
Well, I
documented.
just more mean like medically
the physical,
speaking,
yeah,
like
physical.
you're not like treating the pain of glaucoma by getting drunk. You're just getting drunk and falling asleep.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see when you're sleeping, Matt. Like,
Right.
it's
well,
it's
and
very simple.
no one's ever gotten
Chill
in
with your eyes closed.
no one's ever gotten in an angry bar fight because they were high.
No, the exact
You know what I mean?
opposite.
Yeah.
I've hugged a lot of people when I was high.
Yeah.
Made people cookies.
I'm a big proponent. Like I'm in favor of it. I honestly should probably quit drinking and start smoking more weed, but I just haven't made that jump
well,
yet.
you're in Kansas still, so.
It's true. We might be actually, you guys might be the last state that actually does it.
Dude, I guarantee you, everyone else will pass, and we'll be that state just hanging
See, that's
on
what I
to
say about
Christian values.
That's what I say about Kansas, except that we're like literally more than bankrupt because of our governor, and it's just like there's just no money to be. Like, and then the Kansas Supreme Court's like suing the school, like they're saying like the school district and all this shit, and it's just like
we have like what 2 colleges? We have Oklahoma City and we have Stillwater. Kansas has like Lawrence. You've got what, Kansas City. How many other college
Kansas
towns
City's.
are there?
I was thinking about this on the way here because everyone's like, okay, so we're in Stillwater. The equivalent of this would be Manhattan, Kansas, where K-State is.
Okay.
So it's a little bit smaller. Norman would probably be more like Lawrence.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
think.
I would say that, yeah,
Because
yeah.
OU's in Norman, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then Oklahoma City is more like Kansas City, where it's just like it's a city.
Right.
It's a Midwestern city, but it's still a city. But Kansas City is 2 cities with one name.
Right.
So half of it's in Kansas and half of it's in Missouri.
Half of it has Worlds of Fun. Half of it has a Harrah's.
Fuck, Worlds of Fun.
I went to Worlds of Fun when I was 12, I believe. And at 12, I thought this is a really lame fucking amusement park.
It's like a shitty Six Flags.
It's a very shitty. We have one of those in Oklahoma, by the way. It's,
Worlds of Fun?
No, it's called a Frontier City. It's owned by Six Flags.
Oh.
It is probably once you go to like an actual amusement park and you get on a roller coaster and you're just like, I feel like I'm on a children's ride.
I don't do it.
Yeah. You don't do coasters?
No.
Hold on.
You're not a coaster man?
I've never been on one.
Dude,
What?
I've never been on a roller coaster.
I hate them. I hate them.
They're death traps. My kids go on them, but only when my mom takes them.
I will barely do the
Hey,
log
man.
flume.
Hey, can you say hi to some guys?
We have a special guest here. He's a little
What's
shy.
your name?
He's a shy man.
What's your name? You want to tell him? Cool. I didn't know this, but my son's also named Elliot.
Oh, really?
Yes, this is Elliot.
Nice.
Elliot?
2 L's, 2 T's.
2 L's, 2 T's, like Elliot Smith. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
thank you, man.
Mine was more from E.T.
Oh, did he do? Was that two L's, 2 T's as well?
It has to be. It's 80s, right?
Right.
That's how you do it.
Nice. There's a lot of Elliots. I know like 6 Elliots that are all under 12.
There's a lot of young
Yeah.
kids. Totally. So he's...
Well, he's being put on the spot.
That's true.
True.
This is making for great radio.
This is your first podcast, kid.
Okay. Sweatshirt.
This is really good.
You're the man.
Yeah,
And then I'm trying this guy too. This is the dadgum.
It's a different one.
Ray?
Ray brought some beers.
He just brought us some
He
beers.
brought over
Says
some
nice.
drinks. I don't
But
know.
it doesn't touch the Land Run 100 by
No, that's
Iron
a
Monk.
very good one. So is
Delicious.
this going to be a beer that they're going to have on for a while, or just a small?
We're talking about it,
Okay, you should do that.
but we kind of want it to be limited.
Okay. Right.
Be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
special for the.
Well, because paleo is a little. It's not for biking. You need like a Pilsner or something lighter.
Oh, something lighter.
Something lighter, I would say. I
So
don't bike.
at Free State, we have the Kanza or whatever. Yeah. That's a bike race too, right? Yeah. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so I go to Lawrence frequently for shows and hanging out and whatever. And I love going to Free State to eat because their food's fucking great. Is Free State a touristy spot? Every time I go in there, I'm like, am I being a fucking tourist coming in here?
I don't know, man, because I just see townies there.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it's like I know everybody that works there. They have a kickball team. I know all the kickball players and stuff, and
like they're in Lady Bird. I go to Lady Bird for breakfast.
Lady Bird is my friend Meg's joint.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's actually our kickball team is the Lady Bird Harpies.
Okay.
Because she used to, her and then Arthur Dodge, who's her husband, who's a singer-songwriter around town.
Okay.
They used to play on our team. And, but yeah, Lady Bird's where all of my friends' kids go to work once they're old enough to wash dishes.
Wait tables and do
like
all
that's
that.
where Lily's like, you think I should get a job at Lady Bird? I'm like, you're playing gigs. Like you're making more money busking and
True.
so like she printed her own shirts for this tour with Dan and she sold out of them.
That's awesome.
You get a lot of drunk moms, you know,
Yeah.
you're like, I have a daughter.
so sweet. Honey,
Yeah.
you are so cute.
And then
Let me
probably
get
a lot of
t-shirt.
drunk fans of yours who
Yeah.
are like, you are so awesome.
Like, oh, it's so cool. You have your daughter. I'm gonna make fun of people, and I
No,
shouldn't.
it's fine. It's fine. It's what we do here.
Throw them under the bus.
Well,
Boys
the-
podcast.
the
Throw
thi-
people under the bus.
The thing is, like, I kind of coined this term, like, we got a sitter rock, which is what I was doing. Like a lot of times, like people just get like just shit neck drunk. Like, we got a sitter. Who cares? Like, we never go out anymore. You know,
Dude,
like,
I hear that all the time. Like, I'm married. I don't have any kids. I'm 35. I'm at the age where I should have that. But I'll go to shows and like, you hear the bands go, "Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for getting sitters." Like, whoa. Sorry, what?
Whoa, hold on.
No, that's
hold
pretty.
on.
That's pretty common.
Okay, I went to the MXPX 2 weeks ago, and Mike Carrera said that. He goes, "Thanks for coming out. It's really awesome seeing all you guys here. You traveled pretty far. Probably had to get sitters." I'm like, "Stop! Don't say that." Now I feel old.
No,
Now I
okay,
feel real
so
old.
there are milestones in a person's life. And I've never heard that, but just to hear you say that, I just felt like I aged.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Like,
Oh well, I'm way ahead of you. I'm to the point where I can just take my kids. Like I don't have to get a sitter. My
you're
kids
to
are
the
old
point
enough to
where they
stay
open
home.
for you.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Or even still, just like, like we're gonna go to the bottleneck, and like we'll be home at midnight or 1. It's like, put your brothers to bed. You know, it's just like,
Is that your hang spot bottleneck?
oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't go to shows very often. Like,
Yeah.
if I have a friend in town, I'll go like hang out either before or after sound check, maybe get dinner with them.
Yeah.
But then I'm always like, yeah, I'm going. It's, I want to go to work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I do that. I'm not going to go watch
Plus,
it.
I'm a bummer to go to shows with because I have a hard time like not critiquing. It's like, oh, Peavy, really?
Gear, dude, I do the same thing.
And I'm not even a gear snob, but I just get kind of like, oh, it's one of those bands that puts a drummer on the left.
I hate that.
Like,
Yeah.
Put them in the middle unless you're the Grateful Dead. Then you
Yeah.
can put one on each
it's
side.
like, well, there's a thing called symmetry, and you just put the drummer in the middle and the singer in the middle. Unless you have two
worked
singers,
for fucking 60 years.
unless
Come
you
on.
have two singers, and then you flank them on either side of the drummer. And
Yeah.
just-
Where do you put the bass amp?
Usually
Left or right?
stage right next to the drummer.
Yep.
But then that's also Get Up Kid setup. It's always stage right. Rob's right next to Ryan, and then Jim's right next to Rob, and then me and James have stage left.
That's the way you should do it.
And so we're the dickheads on stage left.
That's how you do it.
yeah.
Keep the big heads over there on stage left. Keep the big boys over on stage left.
The big
The big boys.
I mean, like the
Yeah, so the fat guys on stage left.
I'm saying, hey, Jim's a
You
pretty
actually,
good guy.
instead
Dude's
of Get
holding down the fort. That's what I mean. Holding
Instead
down
of
all the
Get Up
talent.
Kids, you should have just called it the Big Boys. That would have been a great band name.
I don't know. Why am I doing this podcast
I
now?
don't
You're just
know.
making fun of me.
No, of course
Not making fun of you at all. I
No.
didn't. What I meant. Never mind.
You meant the talent.
I'm saying people are there for Dewey's and for Pryor. But Pryor most of Jesus Christ.
All right, Matt,
Come
thanks
on,
for
man.
coming by.
Thanks for coming
No,
on.
I'm
This has been
joking.
awesome.
I'm joking.
Jesus.
James doesn't talk anymore when he's on stage with us. I don't know why.
I noticed that at the OKC show.
It's just the thing that I think he's gotten used to being like a hired gun. Like he's, when he was playing with Mike Hem and Newfound Glory and stuff, it was like, it wasn't his band. So he didn't.
Yeah, but for him, that's like if you like doing these acoustic shows, like, yeah, I'll fucking go here. Like when Mike Hem's like, hey, you want to play keyboards? Sure, I'll go. Why not play keyboards?
Well,
in
have
a
you ever
band
heard
for
that
forever?
story?
No.
The My Chem story?
Please
so
do.
like Black Parade, this is the way James tells the story. So who knows if it's even true.
So it sounds a lot like this?
Yeah, it's like, hey guys.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
No.
The story is that My Chem had a keyboard, Black Parade came out and My Chem had a keyboard player lined up that they fired like the day before the 2-year-long like world tour was about to start. Call up James, because My Chem used to open for Reggie back in the day. And he learned the songs on the plane on the way to Europe and then played them that night.
Wow.
Welcome to the Black Parade is a piano driven song, but that's just like, that's how good, that doesn't surprise me at all. That's just, James is good at a lot of things, but the one thing that he's absolutely 100% great at is playing the piano and song structure and stuff. And so he just, so then he went on tour for two whole years and went to Vietnam and Indonesia and Russia and everywhere in the world.
Yeah. I did not know he was with My Chemical Romance. That? No.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
He played keys in New Found Glory for a while too. Who I'm going to Lawrence to see in April.
Where are they playing?
The Granada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
April 15th. Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Oh shit, I'm going to be out of town.
Well, yeah, you're going to be on tour playing songs on your guitar.
It is what it is.
That's what it is.
He's got some funny stories about My Chem. Like he's got this thing about how they're pyro. Like he had talked to like their pyro guy, and he was like, "Dude, it's so hot you could like cook a hot dog in like 1 second."
Wait, from the drawer?
No. This is just like if he's at his keyboard station and this flame pot goes off next to him, he was like, "I could just take a hot dog and just go whoosh, and it'd be done." And I was like, hot dogs are pre-cooked, James. Like you don't have to actually.
But when you think, like, he probably actually thought about, I could probably do that. I'd probably have hot dogs sitting here waiting and just
Well,
cook
like I said,
one
in
real
the
quick.
custom road case, there'd be the cold dogs.
There's a song, and I ended up singing on it. There's a song on the last Reggie record called A Wizard Threw an Apple at My Head.
I fucking love that song.
And it's about My Chem playing at the Donington Festival and all these, like, old school, like Iron Maiden metal dudes who all have long beards, and they all look like wizards, is how he put it. And they all just were throwing fruit at My Chem because they hated My Chem because they're,
not metal.
Well,
Yeah, they're not tough. They're not metal. Or
so the whole song is just about how he's dodging apples the whole time that he's playing, which is pretty funny.
Okay, so I have to ask one last
one
question,
more.
man. One more
cue.
Yep. So, like, being in this band that's been so important to so many people, what's like one of your most memorable experiences? It could be here, overseas, or whatever. But like, what was the true highlight of Get Up Kids or New Amsterdam solo, whatever it is? Few people are lucky enough to like be able to play music for a living for a long time. So what was a moment that you had where you were like, man, this is it. This is like, not that I've made it in this grandiose, Ariana Grande sort of way, but like this is it, man. This is why I need to do this.
I had this thing when we were first starting out. Like I used to like in high school, I would like draw schematics of like how to pack the van. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't paying attention to math or English. I was just like, let's see, how can we get the Ampeg in there? And then and I was really like into that, and I was really into like let's just go. There's nothing like I'm working a library like. And then it got to the point where we're like, okay, so we're gonna get to Europe. Okay, get to Europe. Got to Europe, cool. And then I was like, oh, let's get to Japan. I want to get to Japan. And then we got to Japan, and I remember I was walking around Tokyo with our booking agent, and I was like, I'm out of ideas. Like this is in 2000. And I was like, this is as far as my
geography was as far as I wanted to go.
And now we have like South America, and then we've been to Australia a bunch of times. But like we went to Malaysia last year, and we want to go to Indonesia and like that kind of Pacific Rim kind of thing. Never been to China. We're gonna knock on wood. There's no wood here.
There is no wood. There you go. Knock on
Close
mic.
enough.
I'm gonna go to South America finally this year. Is the plan. But like, yeah, it was a weird feeling, which is like, okay, like I've, and then like we had things later on when like, I mean, the band kind of. Our most popular point is probably that On a Wire tour in 2002, because it was like after Something to Write Home About, before people realized that On a Wire was so weird. And so it was like the biggest shows.
Right.
And it was like...
But you guys are also going to like MTV play on for the video and stuff for that record too, right?
Yeah, but On a Wire was very divisive. It's which is fine. It's actually why I still have a career, I think. is, you know, putting it out early on that like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, kind of like,
Yeah.
you know,
Good reference. Good band.
Yeah. We're going to play the songs that we want to play, you know, and if you want to be along for the ride, yes, we'll play some of those songs too, but like, you know, but yeah, now it's like, I'm stoked to have my daughter on tour with me. I'm stoked to be able to do stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know if there's any like real like major, I'm trying to think if there's any like major milestones. It's nice. Like the Get Up Kids thing is kind of nice in like a high school or college reunion kind of way where like we all get together and we drink beers and we talk about the old days and we sing the old songs and then we all fuck off and go do, you know, the rest of our lives. You know what? I've actually been really stoked. We recorded 2 new songs and we're going to go back in the studio in April. And the new songs that we've recorded, I'm more excited about than I have been about Get Up Kid stuff in a long time.
Really?
Because the last time, like Guilt Show was the last time I really, like there are rules I didn't feel, like I kind of felt like it was weird for the sake of being weird. And I just kind of went along with it. And like Guilt Show, I knew I was going to quit the band. So I was very like adamant about what I wanted it to do. But this time it's like, we know who we are in a weird sort of way. Like it's kind of like, even things were like, we did this one thing on a song that had like this like thing at the end of it.
Sure.
And it was this moment where we're just like, it's kind of dumb, but I think our fans are really gonna like it, you know, like. And so it's just kind of like knowing who you are and being comfortable with it, but then at the same time, not being like derivative of it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like you said earlier, like the precious. Don't be so precious about it. Just do it and make it.
but the thing is, like, you gotta be a little bit more precious about this because it's like a 20-year legacy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't want to do, like, we never, like, there's a moment where like we got offered a lot of money to do like the Transformers theme in a Transformers movie. And it was just like, I'm not even going to take this to the band. This is stupid. Like, you know, like this is like the one thing, like we're not the biggest band in the world, but the one thing that we do have is our integrity.
Right.
You know, like we're not Fugazi or anything,
So
but
you
just
don't want
like
to do Transformers robots in disguise?
I don't want that. I would turn down that Transformers money.
Yeah.
But it's just like it.
Do you want to be known as the band that did the Transformers thing?
Yeah.
Well, and that was the thing. Like when we did that Cure cover, Vagrant was like, we should put this out, like put it on radio, and we're like, no. And like we had just seen that happen with the Ataris doing
311.
Well, they have their own thing going on, but like
They did.
But like the Ataris did the Boys of Summer, and it was just like,
and that's all he's known for now.
your biggest hit is a cover, and you're not even making any money off of that. And it's just like, at least if you're going to be a one-hit wonder, like buy a house with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you guys did the Close to Me thing like proper. Like it was
it was for a comp.
It was a comp, and but people still like when you guys do play it. It's still fucking cool when you guys do it.
It's a decent cover. You know, it's just like,
it's pretty damn close to the original. Like you guys
just
didn't
like
stray away too much.
It's like structure wise, it's the same as the original, but it's just like with guitars instead of keyboards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually pretty stoked on like where we're at. I mean, it's a monumental pain in the ass to get anything done.
Yeah.
Like we had a conference call like 3 days ago, and just like, I don't know, like when are we going to do this? But whenever we do, it's like we're to a point now where we're not like overthinking it. It's just like, this song's good.
Right.
Let's make it sound like a Get Up Kid song that sounds like, I've been saying the stuff we've been writing now sound like the band who made Something to Write Home About as grown-ups.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, there's not songs about, you know, I miss my girlfriend, but there's songs about being scared of dying.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's,
that kind of shit hits me more now.
Yeah.
Like songs about like the reality of mortality and that kind of thing. And
it's the same sort of
political.
like this whole like quote unquote emo thing is, I think, more about lyrics than anything.
Right.
And I think if, you know, as long as you're like expressing these things that like you're not really things that you would be called a pussy for talking about or a snowflake,
Right.
you know, then it's like that's kind of what it is, and that's maybe why it works. You know what I mean? Like it's not really like I don't know, maybe I don't know. I'm an insider looking out, so I don't really know. But yeah, so I'm happy with
So you guys are going to go and do 3 songs? Or are you going to try to do like a full length or just put out
right now? I think
songs as they come?
I think the current plan, if I'm understanding it correctly, because again, conference calls don't like them.
Yeah. Are you guys all? Wait, Reggie's in Reggie.
You can call him that.
I've had a few
He
beers.
answers to it.
He does.
Yeah.
He's in New York. Are you guys all still in Kansas or?
No, so James lives on Long Island. He's currently in LA making a Reggie record.
Okay.
Rob lives in Worcester, Massachusetts, and he's in Spoon, who have a new record coming out.
Okay.
Like next week, I think. And so he's like, I can't do anything.
Book solid.
He's like,
No.
he not only has a band that's he's not only in a band that's one of the biggest bands in the world, but he's got 2 young kids and a wife. And it's just like, we're just like this whole other band that, it's just.
Yeah.
Also plays Keeley pedals. Shout out to Robert Keeley.
Who plays?
Oh, we have some of those.
Yeah. We work for Keeley. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I build him. He shoots videos for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Josh
really?
builds them. I do all the AV for him.
I think we have some of those. Don't we have some of those?
Yeah. Our friend,
hope you
a couple
do.
other employees. Aaron
Wait a minute.
Christina
Didn't we
Tackett.
give
A
one of
memory
you guys
man.
a memory man
yeah.
at the show in Oklahoma?
Yep. And then we
Was
fixed
there
it
an
and sent
Ivan
it back.
tube streamer
streamer,
too?
yeah.
Yeah, we modded that too.
That thing sounds great.
Yeah.
It's the shit. Like there.
I don't see, I am not a gear guy. I can
Right.
hold I feel like talking about gear is a lot like talking about cars for me.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I can hold my own. I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't give a shit. I'm just like, plug it in, make it sound good. Like I'm more like Westerbergian about it. I'm just
Yeah.
like just play the
songs.
good gear won't save a bad song.
No,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
But a great Robert Keeley pedal will make that song even better.
it'll make the guitar solos.
RKFX.com.
The
Yeah.
guitar solo will sound more of a ripper,
Right. For sure.
and I'm kind of like reconvinced of that after hearing some of that new like Ryan Adams stuff. I'm like, do you
we
still
send-
love me?
We
song?
send
Like,
him a shitload
I was
of
just
pedals.
I was like, God damn it! I haven't cared about guitar tone in 10 years, and I'm just like, this sounds so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But here's the crazy thing about that song. Love the song, love the album. It's so simple, but it just sounds fucking like.
Yeah.
I hate to use the word organic in this snowflake culture we're in.
I've decided that Tom Petty can now die comfortably, knowing that Ryan Adams can
taken over the
still do
mantle.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a friend of mine went to go see Tom Petty at Bonnaroo, and he was like, "I don't know, man. Once Tom goes, like, well, who's gonna do it?" And now it's just like, now I know who's gonna do it. And I'm not saying that Tom Petty should die. I'm just saying that, like,
right.
He can rest assured.
Yeah.
Not rest in peace. Rest assured.
that his legacy will continue.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll walk back down one of these days.
So do I get like a bunch of Keeley pedals for doing this podcast?
I will definitely send you some
Okay.
for sure.
All right, you heard it here first. Josh Montgomery will send Matt Pryor
I'll
Keeley
send Matt Petty
pedals.
some Keeley. I'll send him.
Matt
Petty.
Keeley? Matt Petty? Matt Petty.
Listen, I've had 2
dig it.
beers and I have had a little too much.
All right, I'll tell you what, let's wrap it up. Matt Petty,
yeah.
thank you so much,
Matt
man.
Petty, I love
Again,
your band.
The podcast, if you do one someday, nothing to write home about. You're in this band called the Get Up Kids.
Who?
I don't know. You're in this band called Reggie and the Full Effect. You played bass
I
once.
used to be. I'm not anymore.
All right.
New Amsterdams.
I still, and that's not a band anymore either. I've retired it.
Matt Pryor songs. Look at them up.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna do like
Just do you?
I'm just gonna do sad acoustic songs
Throw one?
and then big loud rock songs. Well, no, I'm in a punk band now. I play bass in a punk band.
Okay,
What was it called again?
Radar State.
so
Radar
keep
State,
an eye
that's
out for
right.
that.
It's kind of a vanilla
I
name.
was going to say Negative Radar, but that's not Radar State.
I can't.
I like it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I think is more what I like.
It's fine. It works.
It's fine.
That's the key to that band that's
I
going to
haven't
put you over the
named
top.
a band in 20 years, so
It's
just
like you said earlier. It's
The big boys.
It's something you put down like it's a placeholder. We'll get to it, but you know what? I think
It's
it's, gonna
arguably
stick.
the logo is probably more important than the name.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, what is Green Day? Like,
It's a day for smoking weed, but it's a really dumb name.
what is the Get Up Kids? That's just like, especially when you're fucking 40. You know, like,
Right.
oh, that reminds me. Today is the
Get Up Men.
last show I am ever going to play in my 30s. My 40th birthday is on Thursday.
Well, fuck. Happy
Wow.
birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Hey, I'm going to get you a nice one of those over-the-hill hats with like the titties on it. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool since my wife and kids are here. That'd be awesome.
Totally. Yeah. Maybe she could wear it. I don't know. Matt, thank you so much for
Yes,
coming
of
on, man.
course. It's been
Seriously,
awesome.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
And
I'm pro podcast. I'd much rather do this than do an actual like a real interview.
hell yeah. Hey, wear some headphones, man. Come on.
Yeah.
What was it that bad?
It's fine.
there's people. It's whatever.
Yeah, as long as you don't ask me about like, so how would you describe your music, or so tell me what was the inspiration for this
What
new
was
record?
going through your head when you wrote Red Letter Day?
bourbon.
Great. That's
Actually,
perfect.
James and I used to drink quite a bit when we were doing the vocals for that record. It was kind of funny. He's definitely a subscriber of the whiskey makes your voice sound better kind of thing.
Get that gravel.
I would never notice that.
He sang harmonies on the new Get Up Kid song, which he hasn't done since Something to Write Home About.
Wow.
Because I did all the harmonies. There's no harmonies on a Wire because our producer hated James. And then he threw pens at him.
Wow.
And he said, no jazz chords. He thought James was like overplaying which is why if you listen to Guilt Show, the piano is like over the top.
Yeah.
Like there's a song called Conversation at the end of that record that has a fucking keyboard solo in it. That's like Herbie Hancock. Like, it's just like, it's so weird.
Is that like him saying fuck you to that?
That's us saying, it's us being like, do fucking jazz chords, man.
Jazz chords. Fuck yeah. Awesome.
But then, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what my point was.
Yeah. It's a good way to end the show. Appreciate it, Matt.
Exactly.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye.
Salud. Boys.